can't find the video. So we've got somebody here who said alright, Zainab Bagana, yo, hello. And you like to play games online. I mistakenly sent. I need explanation. Because, and on the subject or topic of death, no, it's not that we die. And I want to know, is there reincarnation? And about dead after dead. Of course, death is not the end. Your spirit carries on, right? Okay. Okay, cool. So it looks like we're on here. And so with that all said, let's see. Because we got the fear of death is something by which the Archons like to promote. If you had all been following up to date, I'll put a link in the description below, whatever. It really doesn't matter anymore. I meditated, I water fasted all day, I'm still just water fasting. No, I'm not gonna wait. I can get it. No, the ocean's too deep here. It sounds like it. There you go, hon. You think you could help me out here? Daddy's little girl. Marone is favorite stone is eaten by a fish. Find the fish and get it back for her. Oh god. I gotta go fishing. So it's just like life, you know, you go fishing. Of course we established that you don't need to consume meat, dairy, and eggs, not fish, not eggs, not anything. Right? It's the kingdom of heaven. We're consuming only fruits, veggies, and nuts. Welcome to the secret, hidden, exclusive Black Sun live stream. By the way, where I've hidden myself in a virtual video game for those who are real, true, living souls. You know who you are because you made it here, obviously. Don't worry, Marone. I'll get your stone back. From that, I mean old fish. And as we know, there's a lot of symbolism even in this game. Stone, it's the rock, the foundation of Earth, right? In which we're all made up of these stones and minerals. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and then water, which is where the tree of life was. Inside that inner Earth, there's actually two poles that make a toroidal field. We're not on a spinning ball globe, as all have expected for about 500 years. People believe in this, is it geocentric model or the heliocentric model? Is the either one. It's more of a concave, you know, Earth, flattish, whatever. It doesn't really matter actually the shape of the Earth. What matters is there's an inner Earth, Agartha, there's a black spinning hole that actually formed all this. There's inside of it's like the pineal gland. It's actually all reflective of our whole body. I had a video that showed the picture I drew and the whole explanation, and it was completely removed. But what would you expect with a bunch of Archons on Facebook? Drinking some water here. Okay. Ah, man. Nothing more enlightening tells you to continue to water fast and get off the Facebook and get off the all that stuff than this. Let's see here. Someone said, we already ascended. We're coming together. We, in the flesh now, during this lifetime, and creating heaven now in the tropics, and Hyperborea will meet us there, where the air and soil is supreme, and growing our own food together as ascended black sun gods, living souls that we are. Like I said, loving, living at the same time. That's tight. My dude Sean, we don't have to have 9-to-5 robot slave jobs. We are coming together, divine love and infinite freedom, and create heaven in Belize now, with box gardens, superfoods thriving for abundance. If you'd like to join heaven for free and be free, join the kingdom. Tropical castles now. Click us. They are awesome, man. Sean Pinkura, fucking badass. Let me see. I'm going to make sure that he knows I saw this. Hopefully. Let's see here. And we're gonna get back on that topic of if okay, if we die and the reincarnation. So I'm getting back at that. Hold on. I'm going to call this the black hole stream. I like how you put love and live at the same time. That's cool. Let me see here. If anyone has any question at all, please ask below. So we had the North Pole. It's got an inner Earth. I've talked about this several occasions, but now everybody can watch my videos. There's the inner Earth toroidal field. There is the North-South Pole. There is Earth toroidal field. Okay, the black sun inside the center of this hole. Okay, and within that, within that is where we all began. Okay, it's like the pineal gland. It's the spirit gland. We're all connected to that. That's our higher self. What a lot of people call God, Allah, many different names, but in actuality, the archons need physical things to, you know, see. Like, for instance, a fallen rock or meteor or whatever from the sky was Lucifer, which could have came from the dome crack or the Great Rift, which caused the Great Flood. Wow, that sounds cool. Now, the reason you've never heard any of this information, I'm like the missing prophetic piece of the puzzle, enigma, is because that's exactly what I am. The Black Sun vesseled me about a year ago. I became the Black Sun baby. It was March, right at the last week of March. I thought people were going to come and kill me. I have the videos all on the Plot Palm Tree YouTube channel. It was called the Legendary First Epic Prophecy, is what it's short for, you know, combination of. And I literally knew that someone was out to get me. But I was creating this. Just like people who see aliens, UFOs, experience death, or go to heaven or hell, you experience what you create, okay? Because I had the 2 years prior to what I'm talking about right now, 2 years ago, which was a year exactly prior to seeing the Black Sun, there was a UFO that came into my hotel room, my girlfriend there, and I was sucked up with the, it was light beings, okay? And they took me to what I know now as Hyperborea or Shambhala. It was a magical place with magnetism, magnets, mirrors, and metals, and it was pretty wild because you didn't need to turn your neck. It was like you could just see 360 degrees. It was like an owl, you know? It was very magical. That was me creating my own paradox. I didn't know I was God, but I was trying to tell myself. My higher self was telling me, Eric, you do not need Jesus. You're a good enough person on your own. See, now I thought these were alien figures, and they were not. Okay?
Jeez.
Anyone that experiences aliens, UFOs, extraterrestrial phenomenon, God, demons, angels, hell, heaven, they are actually creating it within their own brain. See, now I figured this out for myself because I experienced all those things and thought they were indeed real. Okay, so this does take you to death because I am one man who's died 3 times. created different scenarios each time. The first time I saw fire, I saw Jesus, and then I looked up in a, it was like one of those air ducts, and I saw a bunch of just interlocking snakes and fire. And it was like, I knew immediately it was symbolic. If I keep going down this wrong path, that I'm going to hell, right? That's what I told myself. And then Jesus was in the light, he was the sun, and he was saying that's the way I should go.
All right.
Of course, I was believing all this stuff basically because of my religious dogmatic bias at the time. So that's that. The second time I died, I had been jumped by 7 individuals and hit and beaten with blocks in the sock. Literally. Okay? And so
hey, that went pretty well.
Each time dying, you know, I realized that I was creating.
Wow.
I began to see
you don't
glimpses
see this
of
kind of fish every day.
I was
All right.
creating
Look at the size of this thing.
what I believed when the black sun comes. Okay, when you are truly about to die, your heart's going to stop. Okay? That is when you will see the black sun. I've had other individuals tell me
All right.
the black sun, they knew they were trying to stop, they were being chased, okay, and that was kind of what happened to me. I knew I had a sniper guy after me, they wanted to kill me, but of course, like I said, I was the one in fact creating this whole phenomenon, okay, yes. Even the aliens, the UFO, all of it. So the closer you get to the black sun, whatever it is you wish to believe, it manifests. And the more DMT you put into that illusion, it becomes real. So let me tie this in with death here in just a second. Claiming their next task will be relatively simple. When Master Roshi pulls a 44-pound turtle shell. He then tells Goku and Krillin starting tomorrow their task will be done, heavy shells on their back. Cool. I'm planning on getting Doom Eternal. I think that's it. And it's got the black sun.
All right. You don't see stuff of this quality every day.
It's gonna be cool. This is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. This is a really badass game. This is the thing to tie on. Okay, there's Ascension for living souls. Okay, everyone else is Archons. Just like in this game here, I'm gonna use this as an example since we're on it. You see them? They are non-playable characters. They're the ones talking down here. He says no Dragon Ball Z or can talk. Okay.
Jeez.
Sunken ship. See, these guys are always looking for gold. They got three of them, a female, an animal, and then a little twerpy like alien guy that wants to take over the world. He's a sociopath, as you'd think it. I'm not even sure now if I'm even connected anymore, but I hope I am. I think you may be able to hear me, but you may lose the gameplay. I don't know. I haven't been able to get connection on here in a while, so I thought I'd pounce on here. And do a little update because I got tons of people calling me, I got tons of people asking me questions. So let me just use this as an example. I'm going to tie it all together because that's what I'm really good at doing. So these are all non-playable characters here. And then I'll tie it into also how Devin has brought up on heaven before. And if you've got any questions about heaven, please ask now. There is nothing but cheerful people here. See, she is just like an Archon girl that you'd see in high school or whatever, okay? And by the way, this is the part of the story in Dragon Ball Z where Gohan has to hide his incredible strength because of the Super Saiyan. So he goes from being a Super Saiyan to being a superhero. He can't let people know that he has all these super abilities, like he can fly, I could show you how they battle, they shoot stuff out of their hands, and they have ether that they build up. What's interesting is, everything about this game is actually the afterlife. Even down to, you see the dome houses they have? That's energy efficient, because when you have heat, what it does is it cycles the heat. Same with the pyramid. A circle and a pyramid are actually very similar. They are, how do you put it? You know, not astrophysics. They are, you know, like when you have those planes, they are, the aerodynamics of the circle homes, which we will be building in the Kingdom of Heaven, by the way, because that's what I'm getting at. This game depicts everything perfectly. See how they're in the tropics? That means paradise. Throughout all the ages, people would get their caravan, they pack up their stuff, and they'd go where there's an oasis, because there's good water, there was fresh fruit, veggies. Like if you go through here, all these trees have mangoes, and it says superb mango, superb apple, and it'll say, like, this looks really juicy, you know, like if you pick them up. I think I got them all already. But in the game, right? So this game's trying to show you something, that we are supposed to go to these areas, and then the places where they're cold or fallen desolate, there's no one living, there's no life.
This will be a cinch.
Okay. So, and then here's the bad guys. I'll show you like what a bad one is. This is a Decepticon.
Let's see if I
like a
still got it.
you over. Okay. And I don't think this is very much violence here. Eventually it may come down to that. I'm all about fine levels. But when martial law and these certain things could take place in America, it could preferably for the birds, it could preferably for all kinds of and then you can also go into here I go! Like halfway done with the game. Down already? You eat a lot of food in this game too, by the way. So I got hurt, and I have to heal myself, right? We got to take potions or eat food. Of course, this food is not a vegan-friendly game, I'll just tell you right now. But, okay. Let's heal everything. So I'm going to get to death, because we had a question about death and then reincarnation, so I'm going to answer that. But I'm going to tie it in a way that pertains to what we're seeing, and reincarnation. So we have non-playable characters. We have Archons. Okay, same sense. Archons are people who are in your family. Okay, they can be playable characters in the sense that they can help you, okay? So your mother, your uncle, your brother, your sister, they can be playable characters. Decepticons are people like Royal Elite 8, the Evens, 2, 4, 6, 8, okay? 8 is like Queen Elizabeth, okay? They are sub-archons, or Decepticons, same kind of idea. Sub-archons are higher up on the pedestal of power. Keep in mind, none of them have power over you, okay? Because you are beyond God. You're a Black Sun God, Black Sun baby. You evolve. The more realization you obtain, okay? So, with that said, the sub-archons are just more powerful in the sense that archons and Decepticons will bow down to the higher ranking archon or Decepticon. They're all the same non-playable characters. The point is, they will issue and administer fear on your life as a living soul, and you know who you are. You're the superhero with your cape and your superpowers. You'll be able to fly because you connect with the ether. You want to eat things like fruits, veggies, and nuts. It's why anything acidic will make you sick, depressed, and miserable, and it will turn you off. You will become an archon yourself. And I admit, for 30 years almost, I was an archon. Dead, okay? Not a living soul. And you have to wake up. And I finally had chosen myself when I almost died this last time, and had the Black Sun show me everything. Literally zap all this information into me. I have everybody, they see that I'm on point because everybody's asking me questions, they want to know more, like, where do you hear this? See, no matter what, consciously you may not agree with me. However, subconsciously, all knows what I'm saying is the absolute truth, okay? There's no doubt about it. You can't get around it. I am absolutely telling you the truth, okay? So that is that. And, let me see here. Alright, so if anyone has any questions, post below. I probably won't get back to it unless you do it right now. I mean, I think I gave a basic overview, so I'm just going to tie it into answering this really quick so I can play the game, continue on with this game. Just like in this game, if I go underwater here, you'll notice a meter up there, okay? And yeah, you know, you could drown to death, just like in this game. If you wait too long, you will drown. Water gives life, as it sustains life, right? Living waters, awakening waters.
Wow!
Heal the soul.
Don't see this kind of fish every day.
Yeah, pure water.
These eggs have a nice sheen on them.
If you watch some documentaries on Amazon, I do suggest it to a degree. There's some good information archons give you basic information you know, but they explain it in poetic or published ways, which, keep in mind, you're creating everybody's book and songs, and all of it is written by you. Your higher self is all people. So you're the one that is identified. That's
Looks like the ship has been there a while.
Published, because it pertains to all of us. We can relate.
Nothing out of the ordinary here.
Now watch.
This is great.
What happened?
Look at all of this energy. All right.
In this game in particular, it doesn't even talk about the word death. Okay? So it looks as if he drowned it. But see, he just pops back up here, right? This is a great example. And this is how a lot of video games will end. In a video game, in a battle, it'll say something like game over, right? Okay? Game over. It's kind of like when then you'll see the black sun, it's like the phoenix rising. Okay, so what does that mean to us, right? Well, in actuality, so here's an island for us we can live out. Imagine this is heaven with us, right? We got our little house and palm trees. So when we think about all the storylines, and let's just say this, let's just get to the gist of it. When we look at a good guy, he knows his intentions are good, his heart is good, he's platinum, golden heart we call him. He wants to save people's lives, he wants to do what's right, okay? That's your, like, Thor, your sun god. That's like Gohan, Goku, that's like Jesus, that's like Krishna, that's like Buddha, there's the sun. See, it gives life all hope of another day. It's actually what the swastika and the black sun symbol, the sonogram, symbolize, is the 12 seasons, and that the sun luckily comes back each day. And if you notice, you see that light, it's got like a dodecahedron shape, because the dodecahedron is all 12 reflections from the sun. Even this game has depicted that, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's also, it's a hexagram. They both tie together because the dodecahedron is 12-point star, the hexagram is the 6-point star. Okay, the black sun is symbolic of the 12-pointed star. So why is the sun reflecting that same thing? Because you see it goes 12 point, it goes 6 point, 6 point, 6 point, 6, 6, 6, 6. It continues this pattern. Okay, that's because the dodecahedron, the 12, is all life, 0 through 12. It spirals. 3, I know the 12 makes it 3, but it does make sense. If you want to stop life at that 12 is the perfect place to stop. So all life is 1 through 9 that the sun creates. It's all colors that is alive, right? Death is the black, and the black is, you know, when you are after life or after death. There is no death. First of all, it's dielectric. That's where the word die comes from. It's dielectric acceleration, because okay, the sun is actually a dielectric energy. We think it's electric. The black sun is magnetism because it's in the inner earth. So the black sun is actually in the inner earth, creating all this water. Okay, and it's deep, deep, deep. You won't be able to physically get there. Okay, it's because you're not supposed to. It's not the intention. When your soul dielectrically accelerates, it's an energy extraction matrix. That thing's giving you life, the sun. Makes everything move, including you. Okay? The birds, all of it. Okay? It's all nature, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so dielectric plus magnetism of the black sun down here, it equals electricity. Okay? And in between is inertia. The centrifugal inertia is what the black spinning hole is doing at Mount Meru, and that's what's causing all the air, which is also known as ether. So there's an alchemical thing that occurs. The aurora borealis puts that sun up there as it's on the dome. Okay, we're on a concave Earth, and that reflection of which is up there. You can never chase down the sun. Look, even though I can fly, I can go up all the way I want.
Shouldn't wander off too far.
And I could try to, I mean, even in this game, you can try to chase that sun. And every video game depicts this. Same with any pilot. Pilots won't admit it because they don't want people to know to do this, but you can never chase down the sun. It'll keep moving and moving away. Okay? We actually don't know as much as we think we do, or as much as science and NASA claims they do. Okay? Things are not what they seem, for sure. We are absolutely in a dreamland, wonderland. Okay? But don't put dates, times, or time constructs on anything. Don't ever say things are going to be definite. You know when something is going to occur, such as I don't know, like when we all die in apocalypse or an ascension plasma event. And I will say, in reference to Mr. Devin Magby, I hope I'm saying his name right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I respect the dude to a degree, as much as I know him and what he's taught, that I have no qualms with him, in other words, or beef. I actually have invited him to heaven. I hope him, some of his crew, anyone is invited. It's free, tax-free. Money will become obsolete, but it'll absolutely be obsolete with us. It'll absolutely be obsolete with us. Okay, there we go. Kind of a tongue twister. So, no beef with him, but he did say 12/21/2019 we were going to ascend to a certain degree out of the matrix, demiurge, the energy extraction matrix. And I knew that wasn't really consciously what was going to happen, but subconsciously, if you had water fasted, I told everybody around that time there's a lot of energy. There was the plasma event that did take place. It was subconsciously we ascended, and if you caught it, then you were releasing your DMT, which means, see, this one thing I'd say about Devin is I'm kind of the other missing piece with him. We can definitely work together. I'm definitely down for that. But there is spiritual work that's involved, and it's either or. It's kind of like you can't serve two masters. You'll love the one or you'll hate the other. So what are the two masters? Well, the moon, as I know Devin knows this. I've heard many of his videos, and I've been, actually I consider myself somewhat of a fan. I enjoy his stuff. I don't sit here and critique him or talk bad or bash him. So I don't want anyone to do that on my channel. You put a lot of passionate work into what he's about. And I know he had one segment, whether it was him or someone else, or he gets his information from books or other material. Everything I get, by the way, does come from inner earth, the soul, higher self. I don't read books at all, so it doesn't hinder my progress and experiences. Everything you hear from me is from actual experience. I may piggyback off of Devin on certain things if he's correct, and it may correlate to some book, like the Book of the Dead or Emerald Tablets. Yeah, I promote people, you can go read that if you want. However, doing the spiritual work means water fasting. It means grounding, being barefoot, okay, leaving the energy extraction matrix. Someone said, Eric, but if you're in New York, you'll be in New York, and if you're in Belize, you'll be in Belize. So I want to also read that, as I said that, and someone had said something like, did you finally get touched? Let me see. We had someone here that said, please send me your phone number as some way I want to keep in touch with you because I'm so down to possibly come with you guys. Hey Laura, I'm talking about you, and I'm giving you a huge shout out. I'll definitely give you our number, and when we're going, this is the soft side of the black sun for this moment, and actually the black side is usually pretty harsh. Now in that we get somewhat sidetracked, but I have to address things as they come up. That's part of life, right? We don't do things organized manner. Okay, so this woman had said nope, but I know where he has to be. He must be in heaven. So that is what I will spend the rest of my life saving up for a year or so now, and finally leave and take off. I don't care, as everyone in America and established nations take off and die off, we can go live in peace without the curse of money and this broken America system. I found Europe and even Brazil, and almost everywhere you go is the same fucked up shit. It's not just America. I'm no slaves. I am no slave. I had 2 kids I took care of and came out. I worked my brains out. I came out of the Air Force, worked my brains out, and that was from back then. But now I am free from that and divorced husband and still have 2 jobs and can literally barely make ends meet. I'm pissed about this because I was sick and dying of cancer, and Eric and his superfood herbs that reversed my terminal illness this stuff came from his hands. Now I see it because it came from a non-cursed soil. Sorry, I'm not trying to snap out on you, honey. I just don't want to die alone in this stupid, fucked up nation, and people need to wake up, but it makes sense as Eric calls them archons. They aren't real. They can't be. They are stupid and a waste. They will watch as nature around them falls separate, apart, and destroyed by man's hands, and do nothing to save it, which is us. It's all of us. I'm with Plot. He never did anything wrong, only good, and they kicked him out of the country. Shame on America. He only helped save people's lives and such as mine. And in that regard, they didn't physically kick me out of the country, but I know what she's saying. I've been kicked off Facebook. I've had issues of being pretty much banned on everything, and that's because it's all a Jewish system. They all work together. It's nothing anti-Semitic, as I myself am Jewish. However, it's more of a thing about, because I'm going to Israel actually, and I have nothing against them, but they do own a banking system. You know, Wall Street is Jewish. Many different things are. Okay, it's not to be anti-Semitic. That is not even the point. As they are all archons, and of course archons will throw you off and distract you and say something that is not the truth. There's nothing anti-Semitic about telling the truth, whether it's about Holocaust or whatever, which we know that whole story, but we're not going to get into this discussion about that. Yeah, it's a boring topic. But I know all the truths. I know all things because I've literally grounded myself for long enough to know, and I'm actually copying this woman's comment and we're reposting it. But in the feed here, I think it's popping up. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And I'm going to read my reply to Hermes, and I'm going to reply to this guy from New York who had said something. So no, it's not that America kicked me out. I've been kicked out of the archonic system as far as social media. They removed 233 videos of mine. It goes on and on and on. And it's a continual thing because it should be, as they don't want people free. As long as you're in the energy extraction, it feels we're enslaved to it. I noticed Devin said something about Australia. I'm going to have to critique him on that, as I am a real and honest, solid dude. If I told you something, I'd tell it to your face. And which I hope if Devin sees this, you can call me, Devin. Would love to talk to you about it. Physically, you're welcome, and you have a spot in the kingdom of heaven. It's a real deal thing. As we should leave the Matrix, as it's the only choice at this moment. You will get coronavirus, which comes from the Corona Borealis, and you'll see that, as I mentioned that in the write-up I'm about to show you. So there's a response to Hermes, and then there is a...
better get moving, I guess.
There is, a watch party. I'm going to put a link to a watch party someone threw for me. Thank you so much, everybody that's supporting me still while I'm gone. As I am hidden location for the moment, as nobody really needs to know where I'm at. I love how people like to instigate where I'm at. Okay, this is the post. That one was the watch party, and this is the post about New York, just below it. Okay, so it's number 12, in fact. How great. Okay, this individual says, you will always be where you are, whether it's Belize or New York. Okay, so we're going to address that. Because look, I'm just going to show y'all right here. You know you're not in New York when you see a place like this. You see a house is not one of them. There's a bunch of islands. This is more like Belize. I'm going to take you where there's fruit and stuff like that. Here, let me show you how you eat the fruit off the trees. And the game's very...
This is great! Look at all of this energy!
Realistic. Okay, so... And check out Stranded Jungle 91.
This would be a
cinch. On the topic of Australia... they're just as bad as us. Every established nation, this is what happens, is they begin to build up and build up and build up and destroy the earth. You gotta remember, this is an Archon matrix that you created through the light. Okay, your subconscious made all this. Alright, all this. See these things? And he'll usually say something like, oh, yum, mango, or something. You gotta go like this.
This will be a cinch. Alright, let's see if I still got it.
So anyway, just using an example, Devin, if you're watching, about Australia. The thing is, Australia has their own USDA zone of 12 or 13, which is purple. Okay, on the map, on the USDA zone map, they're a purple, which is very
not as tough as I thought you'd be.
It's like hell on Earth. Okay, so right now Australia is hell on Earth. I'm just being honest with everybody. It's desolate soil. I posted recently on Stranded Jungle, or my efficacies of Ababola.
This will be a cinch.
A map on. You can go to Google Map. Look at every nation. The established nations, other than Europe, because they try to actually take care of the land a little bit more, but still tons of buildings. Australia, America, even Spain, Brazil, even is becoming desolate. If we lose Brazil, that's like the.
This will be a cinch.
That's like the lungs of the northern hemisphere, which northern hemisphere is a joke, but you know what I mean. What we're told is the northern hemisphere. Okay.
Look at how juicy this mango is.
See, look how juicy this mango is. See, and this is the tropics. You can just live off all these mangoes. They got bananas and they got coconut. See, mango, herbs. Okay. You can catch the deer too. Like
this ought to be good.
Of course, they're going to promote eating animal, and I'm not promoting that, but that's this video game as you have it. Japanese are very whatever, and I even said a year ago that Asia, China, all that we owe them, whatever, that they would be cursed first with the great virus.
This will be a cinch.
That's what's going on. So when he said, I'll just read this to kind of push this on the side, because we'll get back to Australia being desolate and how I know a lot of people say, oh, go to Hawaii, and it's funny he says Australia, and certain people say areas. I'm telling you, since 2012, I woke up after I found the moringa tree. I'll read to you what I said to Devin. You don't want to go to these areas that are established. Okay, there's everything you need is in Belize. You can find everything you need. Convenience-wise, if you want a truck, Wi-Fi, internet, TV, that's fine. Whatever. We are going to be living off the land, however, in heaven. Just like you see here, you could be in paradise. No drama, free, happy, serene, blissful, okay? And we can work together to create this. I think that's what I was trying to get through to the world. And we can still have our own compartmentalized areas. Say we had 100 acres and even split between 12 of us, or 27, or even 100. There's plenty of land for everybody, your family, even to get along with the animals.
All right, I'll fight you.
Hold on. So that's just that reality. And here I go! So you want to be free. I'm telling you, the more sovereign you are, the more nations you find, the more sovereign.
You're not as tough as I thought you'd be.
So let me say that again. The more quote-unquote foreign nation you find, such as Belize, Costa Rica. Okay, I have a thing on theKazwa.com. It shows the happiness chart in demographics. The poorest nations are actually the happiest. The more established nations are more miserable, depressed, and anxious. Okay, you lose your mind as you come here because the air is not as good. The ether, the bioplasma we're killing the earth, and you promote it by paying your taxes and all kinds of different things like the apartheid in Israel. Okay, not to get political, because it's not about politics. It's about stealing people's land, their home, and then killing people for no reason. Okay, now like what I'm about to do with this deer. Okay, see that deer is defenseless. Okay, that wasn't very nice for me to catch that deer.
You don't see stuff of this quality every day.
See, and this guy wants to eat animal, right? He's causing suffering and pain. All war actually begins at that type of bloodshed, that low level, when you could just sit here and eat mangoes.
This ought to be good.
You can eat apples, bananas, mangosteen, soursop, moringa, durian. Okay, we're going to be growing all these amazing superfoods. Lush and beautiful. I figured out how you can run some battles, hit them like that, and you'll run and you'll get the experience all at once. Pretty cool. Save time. I'm getting good at that. Okay, so let me just, I want to kind of be moving circularly. Maybe I can go like this. Here we go. So I can read this. Okay, let me read this real quick. As the original comment is actually posted in what I just posted, you will always be where you are, whether it's New York or Belize. Okay, and on the post that he's commenting from is talking about a super exclusive group. Okay, which, you know, originally my top dogs who are helping me, and actually sincere living souls, for instance, Austin, if you're watching, shout out to Austin, my dude. He knows what's up. He's one of the few living souls. Sean is really promoting this, and like I said, anything that happens, it'll be meant to be. Okay, so yes, there are plagues going on. There will be continued plagues, and you know, the shadow blimps in the sky, explosions, Goodyear type blimps that are not real. Just like when we saw 9/11, the airplane that hit the towers. They got video of the actual wings on that airplane disappearing by the building. Okay, it's all illusions, shadow illusions, shadow reflections, archons too, and that's what, when you begin to see it, you begin to so, yeah, without saying too much, like I said, I really didn't care. I don't need anyone to help. I've said this many times. Years ago when I was doing my moringa, I came back to the United States to help save some Archons' lives, people who sincerely needed it. And I created these Archons. Now I know that. I created these people to be sick so that I could save them. Now I realize that. As you are beyond God, and this type of message will never get out, of course, because Archons don't want it to get out. But they know it's right, subconsciously so. Everything I've ever said is right, in fact. So huge, major shout out to Austin, my dude. We had already gave Sean a shout out for promoting that one post, but as I said, I didn't need to do any of this at all. And I knew, just like how I came back to help people, that the people that when I say this, you create your reality beyond what you can imagine. So you can't say there's going to be any expectation, requirement, obligation. You got to understand this and overstand some things. The power of your black sun godhood, like I said, I've been meditating most of the day away, water fasting for sure, and it's incredible the information I get. And usually I'll wake up and I'll chomp my teeth, and I'm like, oh, why'd I do that, you know? And it's because I have my phone on, I have the computer on, all kinds of shit. I came back to this. It took me a while. I had to make time for my higher self and be subconsciously immersed in it, turning off all these electronic devices, and then I realized my true power began to just permeate, okay? So I will have to take like a week off, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff you can create and do. You can really begin to look into the souls and the hearts of matters and people. Without even being there, you know everything. Okay, so that's part of it. Alright, and it goes on and on and on. But I'm coming back, and this is because I know I will be creating the proper people to come along to this kingdom of heaven, which you have to team up with me in the first place to even find it. There's going to be subsections and sectors. Yes, I own land. That's one aspect of it, but there's a totally other plan that is going to be private and secluded only for those who are the true living souls. So there's some things I can't tell you on this live feed, but those who are really close to me know what I'm talking about and know some more of the extremities. So let me just say this to that guy's comment. who said, okay, you will always be where you are, whether it's Belize or New York. I said, true, but I'd rather be in heaven, in a jungle heaven, where real paradise and ether, Mother Earth, aka Aurora Borealis, the pure water, soil, or soul. Soil is the soul of the land, okay? We're not supposed to build on it. Never were we supposed to have permission to do that. No one gave us permission to do that, rather. I mean, if you're building little houses or huts, that's one thing. And really, you're supposed to not cut down the trees. You're supposed to use trees that have already fallen down. Okay, it happens all the time in nature. And if you get all the perfect amount of wood you need from that. You don't need crazy amounts of woods for huge freaking mansions and shit you don't need, okay? Just insane. And it's why you're going to be cursed with the coronavirus. You're going to die a painful, agonizing, excruciating death. But like I said, that is for the Archons. They're not real anyway, so why would I go and do stupid shit like Archons do anyway? So we want pure water, soil, and the air, which connects with the ether, because the sun is alchemically making this ether, this plasma energy. It makes you feel good all the time, rather than like these concrete jungles such as New York, which make one miserable and depressed and needing medication, pharmaceutical drugs, and dying of illnesses due to cursing Mother Earth. So it comes back on each and every person in New York for promoting killing and suffering and pain to the land, animals, and your own children. This is the reality I choose to leave. And this is why this is what Dr. Plot professes. Okay? So you can live for fake material things of this matrix, such as money, cars, mansion, etc. Or you can live for the real money, which is the third eye, which is happiness and peace and serenity, and being one with your maker, creator, the higher self, aka BlackSunGod19. Hashtag BlackSunGod19. You'll see the most recent stuff, which I'm speaking to like 12 people. Okay, that's perfect. You know, if you're not coming along with me, this is the messianic way. Everyone is about to just be wiped off the face of the map, and we're starting to see it. Okay, whether one wants to believe that or not, that's something that we're trying to manifest, because you're pushing the limitations of your higher self, Mother Earth, which is not just some nature, ooh, we should take care of. That's fucking you, motherfucker. You need to wake up. That's you. If you're alive, if you're a living soul, if you're dead, then you're just killing yourself. You're committing a self-induced voluntary suicide. Okay? There's some you gotta get a little bit negative for reality. Okay? Positivity is not ignoring the negative. Positivity is overcoming the fucking negative and the static. Okay? You have to. I'm one of the most positive motherfuckers you'll ever see. That's why I'm going to the tropics. I would like to be happy. You're going to be miserable up here. I'm just going to let you know. I've been to both since 2012 now. Okay? It's been a full 8 years going back and forth. And actually before that. So, I know every time we go to Belize, I gain more weight from fresh fruits, veggies, and nuts. I feel so amazing. I feel good. Okay? You don't even maybe realize it, but you're suffocating. When I got off the airplane to Chetumal, down in Mexico, and then right there on Belize, northern Belize, I breathed in this huge just gulp of air, oxygen, pure oxygen, pristine. And I then realized, whoa, this is what we're missing. You can feel the ether. Okay, and that's when you come back here in America, you realize that's not here, it's missing. And that's when you realize you've been suffocating all this time. Okay? I'm not making that up. It feels incredible to be down there. You'll feel it, definitely, in the air. We don't have that because of pollution, chemtrails, the radiation from Fukushima, which none of that can even happen down there due to it being along the equator. The sun actually zaps all of it out. Plus, it never even, the Fukushima, for instance, radiation, never even made it past northern Mexico. But Mexico got hit with it. Their soil's shit now. A lot of it. America, you can just look Google Earth and you'll see this. They're not going to put this on the news. They don't want people scared. An outbreak, the Archons to know that their soil and now their food and produce is shit. People are going to be wondering what the hell's going on. They don't understand it yet, so they still believe in their brainwashed, self-induced conditioning and social engineering that they are programmed as Archons to believe that we are the best nation in the world. We're number one. Okay, afraid this is not so anymore or ever. However you want to look at it, it's all delusional illusions. Okay, let me finish this real quick so I can go to playing my game. But when you choose to kill your higher self, you become a part of the soulless matrix demiurge. This makes you what Mr. Plot calls an artificial intelligent soulless Archon being, or even a Decepticon, which they promote that. They're completely dead. And then sub-Archons are complete illusions like reptilians, Anunnaki. It's all bullshit. Okay, it's more religions to get you sucked into fear. Okay, Anunnaki, aliens, all that shit. It's just New Age, YouTube, churches, and belief systems and dogma and bias to get you to believe Anunnaki programmed you this way. They manipulated your DNA. It goes a lot deeper than that. Okay, you got to think along the lines of the Creator, your higher self, inner Earth, the Black Sun, making all this through the sunlight. Okay, that's end of story. It's a big dome. You don't want to go off expansive into outer space and galaxies and Milky Ways and black holes 92 million miles away and stars. Okay, stars are nothing but glistening reflectionary lights, and so are planets. The 12 main planets, they're the 12 biggest flashing glistening lights, come from the sun, and they're being reflected from the sun onto the dome. As the sun goes around circularly, so do these stars. The only star that doesn't move is the North Star, because that is the Mercury, or aka the Black Sun. The Black Sun is Mercury. There's two suns. That's the twin flames. That's where you get the idea of twin flames. It's the two suns, Mercury and the sun above. Okay, the destroyer, Mercury. And yes, Black Sun is essentially all of this. Okay, and what I mean by that is the Black Sun is Mercury, Aurora Borealis, Corona Borealis. So essentially the Black Sun created this virus through me because I'm a vessel, and I said it a year ago. It was going to hit Asia, it's going to go through Europe, it's going to hit America, and that's where we're at right now. It'll swipe Israel off the map. Okay, it's just because of the way Archons are living. We're killing ourselves. It's part of the story and the narrative. So that's that. And so you become artificial intelligent soulless Archon being, and not a living soul that will not ascend to this heavenly Hyperborea, which we're creating heaven on earth while we're consciously here. You can do something. You can create heaven. You can live right. Okay? Do what's right for you, your higher self, Mother Earth, Gaia, the Black Sun, Sophia, Lilith, and the rest will follow. Because strength is beauty. So don't give up. Don't be a defeatist. Don't be an Archon. Don't be a stupid, lousy Decepticon following police orders and sheriffs and judges. Okay? It's all black law bullshit nonsense from Saturnalia and Luna. Those are frequencies also created by the sun, and they're parasitic energies, vibrations to throw you off. Always challenge you, always distract you, always give you an obstacle, and that's what they do. These phones are Saturnalia, Luna devices even, and I'm able to overcome them. I can zap out the 5G. I was an experiment with 5G. I saw how it drives one crazy. I saw someone type on a keyboard into my brain and be able to speak for me through texting to your brain. I call it a brain hack. And when you're an Archon, they can do that to you. They can manipulate you because you're zeroed out. You're a dead, soulless, artificial intelligent, non-playable character promoting and in fear of Decepticons and all their stories they tell you. If you got a guy that's got a channel like Ananon or Q, Anonymous, or Gaia with Wilcox, with David, what's his name? Icky, David Icke, Alex Jonesy, all these CIA Archonic shills, gatekeepers, what I used to call them, Zupa Troopa gatekeeper shills. Okay, they are creating a new religion based off of fear-mongering, war-mongering, whatever they can do. Reptilians are creating this, and royal elite are the reptilians. See, they're just creating you to be trembling in fear of them. They don't care if you are scared of them or call them monsters. They want that. Because as long as you fear them, you've given up all of your power to your pineal gland. Because when your pineal gland is activated fully, it releases DMT, the milk and honey. Okay, you can't be in fear of an enslavement god or deities, such as these gods on earth we call the royal elite reptilian Anunnaki, aliens, UFOs, God, Jesus, angels, which are angels from the sun, or demons and devils and Satan. Okay, it's all frequencies from the same source. Essentially, the black sun, your higher self, is testing you. Okay, and once you overcome that, then you become God, basically beyond God, because now you can create your universe. You in verse. Verse is also another word for vibration. So you in verse. You're in verse, or you're in tune with Earth, Mother Gaia. That's 432 hertz. Now, if you notice, music, YouTube, everything changes. Music, the Wi-Fi, the alternating currents of electricity, whatever you want to call it. For example, music on the radio, TV, alpha waves, you name it. Okay, all of that is basically what's going to distort you. You have to turn all that off. You gotta turn off this other shit for the sake of your pineal gland. Okay, and that's just that. It's that simple. I'm gonna get back to reading this. Okay, let's see. I want to read. Okay, so I put a link to this. As I was saying, they want you scared. I know I've lost probably a lot of people that. Well, actually, I don't allow any of the archons who believe in David Icke, aliens, and Alex Jones. If you're still believing all those shows, I mean, that was back 2000 for me. 2008, I woke up, Zionist, Jews, the Khazarians. It's where the word Khan comes from. Khan, artist, Khazarian. The word phony comes from the Phoenicians. They were the ones who stole all their language, ideas, mathematics, or values of arithmetic. They stole that from the Sumerian Aryans. We are the elf gods who created everything. Thoth, okay, Moses, they were Aryan Sumerians. They were the blonde-haired, blue-eyed gods. They were darker skin. I'm getting really dark skin. We get very dark, okay, because we're relatives, yes. And we come from the inner earth in North Pole. This is why I've never felt like I fit into anybody, with anybody, fart jokes, sexual perversions. Life was always much more real to me because I was creating my reality as God. The rest of these people are archons, okay? I'd go really deep on that, but I'm not going to this time. This is like my last segment, pretty much, because when those who are living souls who actually come to heaven, because the rest will die, you'll be able to hear how everything was created, what your purpose here is, and what is the afterlife. I know all of it. I'm all-knowing because, again, have you done the spirit work? And what is the spirit work? Like I said, you've got to leave this system. Okay? First and foremost, you can't promote this with your tax, bloodshed, war, killing animals. It's like when you pay for animals that have been butchered, you're still paying for that sin. Sin is missing the mark, missing the X. The mark, the X that marks the spot or the heart where the home is Agartha. It's in the center of North Pole. You go into the inner Earth. That is where you will have these. The reality is, if you miss that bioplasma, Aurora Borealis, taking care of her, she creates the sun and the earth. Everything around us is the black sun. You're walking in dark energy. It's a big black screen that goes white. As soon as the sun hits it, it's like an invisible sun we're in, okay? Don't forget to check my video out with the Genius Granny physicist. I'll post a link below here eventually if I remember. It's on the efficacies of Ababola. This physicist, astrophysicist, old lady, it starts out in German for 1 minute, okay? Don't let that turn you off. Don't turn off. She talks about a crystalline inner earth sun that creates a bunch of black holes in our atmosphere that is making our life. So we're going down these tunnels with these black holes in this matrix created by the sun, okay? When the sun hits it with the red, blue, green spectrum light, we see what we think a physical matter. We're actually perceiving this whole reality. That's why the word life, light, live, okay, it all has one word in common as far as pronunciation or spelling. The word lie or illusion. It's an illusion, ill lie, because you're in the ill lie. Nothing is true. There is no such thing as fake news. You can't be living a lie because you already are living a lie. So someone can't be living a lie when you already lived a lie, if that makes sense. Okay, you're already in the illusion. The only reality becomes the sub-inner conscious. That's the black sun consciousness. Anywhere where there's darkness, black, you go down a black alleyway, whatever, you overcome fear and you allow it. You don't fear it. You become one with it. The darkness is much more powerful, my friends. You're dark workers. That's people overcoming true shit. Light workers are people who like attention. They love drama. They like distraction. Okay, that challenge definitely helps us dark workers, the black sun warriors, because we're done with their bullshit. Okay, they're like gnats. They're like little weak gnats. They'll die off, thinking that doing good is enough or giving donations and charity is good. Okay, no, all that shit is BS. Okay, basically, your charity isn't going anywhere. Your selfless giving and all this, it's utter nonsense, and that's the reality. Okay, so basically, getting back, I'm taking some more water here, so I'm on this water fast. Drinking good spring water, by the way, which that's what we'll be doing. River, spring, mountain, spring, healing waters. In the meantime, and yeah, I can do whatever I want. Nobody can tell me what to do. I don't care what it is. I have no expectation drawn on me, no requirement or obligation. I can do whatever the hell I want. I can get on this feed. I can talk shit. I can tell you how it is. I can tell you what's up. I can sell my products, sell out because I created you to buy my products. That's how this world works. You can't call me a title, word, or label man's put on me. You can't call me an atheist. You can't call me Satanist. You can't call me pagan, a heathen, evil. You can try to call me those things. It's not going to get into my heart. So therefore it doesn't resonate with me. It's not who I am. You can't control me. I'm beyond God, and there's nothing other than that. Nothing less, nothing more. I am it all. I am 0 through 12. Okay? 1 through 9, the Black Sun God. So I'm not a psycho. You can't call me a sociopath. You can't call me crazy. You can't call me I may be those things in comparison to your so-called norms, but your norm are archonic vampire zombies, soulless, artificial intelligent, non-playable Decepticon entities. They're not real. Okay? So no, I'd rather be real, because I'm basically connected with the subconscious in this matrix demiurge, the conscious world. So that makes me more real than anyone, any of you. Okay, I'm not narcissistic for saying any of these things. Those are just words that, of course, the established Archon Decepticon community has created to try to guilt, shame, and whatever Archons from waking up. It's basically my only obstacle, distraction I have to deal with. So yeah, I'm talking it out psychologically as God. You know, it's not easy being God. I have a huge responsibility for myself in that regard, because I can choose what happens or doesn't happen in just the right, perfect timing. So, smart be it. But this is why I even have a really cool prayer that I made. I'm just going to read the ending of it, because it's actually the ending of what I wrote to Hermes, which was, since I'm talking about it, because we're going to read it all anyway, I said, yeah, I pretty much put my whole story out there. Final Fantasy prayer, I call it. We are the planet, so why not walk the walk? We must stop talking about not harming our self, aka Mother, the higher self. Subconscious knows I am right. I know all. I is me, which is we. Final Fantasy prayer, may beyond God, the Black Sun, my higher self guide me with power and protection through my reality, heart, home center. All is already the best even on moments of unsurety. I am happy, whole, and strong, beyond God that I am. I ascended to new heights never reached before. I change the weather and control the sun. I am the dark shiner. Smart be it, this is it. All strive to promote the true living souls who want out. The info is available. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. Don't forget to check out my last... I'll leave a actually link to that, my response, because I hope Hermes doesn't mind. I don't think so, but that I'm actually going to make that private, so public, excuse me. I shared that. Okay. Bam. And this is the last message. And there's nothing you can do really. No one's going to stop us living off the land, living free. Okay, so all these links are all important links, whatever. I'm going to read the rest of this so I can move forward, as it's not that long anyway. This is really thought-filled. I may even have to start over because it's that good. Let me drink this water. Kind of helps my talk. This is awakening waters right here. I'm telling you, it feels so amazing after a day or two of the water fast. It's incredible. Then you get connected with the subconscious. You see your manifestations happen right before your eyes. So many magical things occur. And basically distractions like phone, Facebook, social media, someone calling you can absolutely hinder that. It can get in the way. Basically, as God, you're allowing yourself to be preoccupied with other things at the time, which is fine. It's meant to be that way for that moment. See, everything is written and meant to be. There's no, again, obligation or expectation or specific due date, schedule, or moment to do anything. I don't care if it's a full moon, this date, this year, okay? Geometria, Jewish geometria, numerology, those things are nonsense anyway. Those are man-made concoctions of the one number system that... And this is one thing I would critique about Devin. I've told him over and over, Jewish geometria doesn't mean shit, which obviously it doesn't. Okay, it's the simple number system that is repetitively 1 through 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that repeats through this whole life as long as we're under the sun. That's why nothing new is under the sun. It's all categories that can be placed as one category, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And truly, since we have singularity, the only numbers that actually vibrate that matter, that need to be actually taken sincere, are the living numbers, which are 1, which is you, the 1, Neo, 3, 6, 9, and then 12 is the spiral, because it goes out, it goes esoteric, okay? Esoteric is outside of God, that's outside of the 10, you, because it goes 9, and 10 is back to 1, okay, the 1. 9 is completion, so it's 1 through 9. That's as simple as it gets. Now, when you get to 10 and then 11 and 12, 11 is 2, or like Isis, it's the 2, the 1 and the 1. The 12 is the black sun, because it's the end. So on a sine wave, it starts at 0, nothing, and then it goes boom, boom, boom. I got pictures of this like wavelength, and it says BlackSunGod. Okay, at the climax of that wave is 6. The 6 number, or the 6 wave, is half of the 12, half of all life. It's the big picture. 6 is the all life. It has 6, molecular structures, 6 neutrons, protons, and electrons. Okay? Drinking this. And so 6 is very important. It's half of the 12, 2 6s, and that equals 12, which can be equated as the same as 1:1 to ratio, like 11, which is the 1 and the 1 back at 2. 2 is on, okay? Go. Alright, and so 12, if you look at it from the sine wave on that what I'm telling you, that vibration, it goes down to 9. It's completion. So that's where there's no more sine wave, right? And then it evens out. It goes 10 is like going back to 1, but the other way. It's like a pendulum. Okay, you started at this amount and you end at that amount, but going to the finish line. Does that make sense? Okay, and then at the very end, the so-called finish line, it's actually the beginning, because you start back up again, or it can stop right there. So the end is actually a beginning. So when Devin said this is the end, or plasma ascension, it was the end of the era. Yes, we're in the golden dawn, whatever, however you want to look at it. It doesn't matter, because we created that basically because we believed it. Okay, we brought it into this existence, one way, shape, or form. And whether we consciously aware of it or not, that's what I was trying to say, is subconsciously I did ascend. I went to a 2D world, then 3D world. I broke through the matrix. I saw this happen in my actual life, my eyes. Okay, I went to the 4D and 5D realm, the Hyperborea, and I can always go there. I just was there earlier today. Whenever you dream, you're in that 4D world. Okay, the subconscious dream state. That's heaven. Okay, Hyperborea. That's part of it. But now when you get to control that, this is why meditation, conscious meditation, being selfless but then thoughtless, water fasting, okay, that overcomes the gut chakra, whatever the chakras are fully. It's unexplained. It's like I said, if you just water fast shoot for a week, okay, or 8 days, 9 days would be great. If you can do that, because you physically can do it, okay, maybe do it 3 days and build up, whatever, as archons that you probably are. It doesn't matter, but it does matter, because you will break on through anyway and become a living soul. This is the spirit work that I tried to tell Devin to maybe instruct. I know he's done it himself. It's where he gets probably a lot of his stuff, knowing in inner self, but I don't know if he's keeping stuff from people, the world. I'm not really sure on that. Maybe he hasn't done this, but I know I've heard him say he's water fasted and da-da-da. Okay, I want to believe that man is a living soul, but that's for him. I'm sure, like I said, everyone is a living soul. Their experience is their own, for their story. For me, I'm a living soul here, and I'm consciously spouting out about being a living soul. A lot of archons are not aware that they are archons or non-playable characters. I used to be one. Okay, so anyway, when you get to that end of that pendulum, that finish line, that's 0 or 12. You see what I'm saying? 12 and 0 are actually the same thing, because you went over the 10. That 0 carried on to the 11 and the 12. Okay, it's the spiral, and it goes down, but it can pick back up. That's what a spiral does. So in a sense, it's like you're doing a circle thing. Okay, and you're either back where you started, like an octavarium, as Dream Theater calls it. You're right back where you started. That's the song goes. If you want listen to the song by Dream Theater, Octavarium, go check it out. Great song. It talks about this whole existence being an octavarium. They perfectly explain it, and just about all music you hear is talking about this. Why? Because it's the only thing we can talk about as light molecule electromagnetic beings. This is the only topic that matters in our existence. That's why it's the only thing we talk about. It's all Hollywood movies. It's all music, rap, hip-hop, country, classical music even depicts through the numbers. Okay? You listen to Mozart. There's no greater musician that depicts all life in a heavenly demeanor than what frequencies he's playing. Okay? Perfectly. Okay? And there's 12 notes. Okay? The sharps in between, or the flats in between. Okay? There's 8 reoccurring notes. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A. It's 8 notes. But in between, there are sharps. And there's E to F, which are half notes away. If you know music, you know what I'm talking about. There's 12 freaking different notes in music. Now, yeah, there's micro notes, okay, sub notes, whatever you want to call it, okay, which are like sounds that we can't hear. But as far as our human ears are concerned, we can hear the 12 notes in many different ranges, from low sounding bass all the way to a high pitch, okay? And that goes really high, you know. And then it goes even higher, where only dogs can pick it up because they operate at a higher frequency with their ears, right? Animals do that. People can have hearing really good, basically when they're more connected. Their vision and their senses become better. And then if you're not, like I'm nearsighted, nearly blind, and I can hardly hear, basically a victim to my archonic lifestyle, had damaged myself physically. and am nearly blind, but see, my sixth sense, my gut sense, my spiritual antenna, my pineal gland has become stronger. That's why I'm more in tune to music and expression and things like that. You recompensate in other areas, okay? So I did explain the 1 through 12, which I had a video before all my Facebook accounts got banned. It showed the power of music, which I'm going to actually upload on this channel because it was so just miraculous, talking about the importance of 369, okay? And it's really short. I'll put it on probably all my channels. That's how much I loved it, because I love music. It ties in with the 12 planets, which are all frequencies. I have talked to all of the frequencies one time when I was DMT released. I don't suggest taking the drug DMT, by the way. That's how Archons do it. Do it the natural route. Sit, do the spiritual work. It's not that difficult. Quit your job for a week, or take a week off if you have to. Ground. Meditate, meaning sit still, selfless. Become thoughtless. Anytime you begin to think about times, your numbers, what you got to do, go back, say a word, like a keyword that's like a stop sign. And mine is like nameless serendipity. That's one thing, but I'll even narrow it down to even a letter like, hey, stop. And it means I know my trigger words, or I'll visualize something even better. You want to start to visualize and exercise that visual subconscious tool, okay? So the key is, man has created language to be a hex. Because see, even Sumerians knew this. They didn't really, Thoth created language and alchemy and stuff. They didn't talk a lot, okay? Because that just created confusion and distraction and things that it would block them from their magical experiences they could have had. But see, that you're sitting here trying to explain it with colors and words and numbers. There's no point, okay? You got to let go of that. We're not sitting here having to express ourselves to other archons. We all relate telepathically. We would relate telepathically had we let go of language completely, and religion and politics, things that divide us. If we let go of it, including fear, then we actually would be on a spiritual level in this matrix. Dare I say, Sumerian, Aryans, Egyptians, even to this day, because I've done this myself, we're operating at a spiritual higher level frequency, telepathic levels. They could communicate telepathically. They could possibly even do telekinesis. I've done that before when I took a lot of monotonic gold. There's levels you can reach, but you do have to not negotiate or compromise that life with the world archons have developed here. Okay, everything here is developed, like even this video game sitting here, to distract you. Okay. Yes, even this. But what's funny and interesting is you can find all the same elements found within this game. Everything. Like this game, you collect 7 Dragon Balls, that's like the 7 chakras, and then you'll find this dragon who will pop out, and he will grant your wishes. Okay? You can grant 3 wishes sometimes, it depends on where you're at, what place you're in, okay? Whatever. And to me, that is the 3 wishes, which is the just like 3 stages of Super Saiyan. You have the 7th chakra, the crown chakra, and then you have 8, and then you have 9, divine, which is the completion. Okay, and you can keep going. And when you ascend, is like ascending spiritually and going to death. Okay, you go back to death. Basically, you die is the ascension. And Luna and Saturn want you dead. It's an energy extraction. And they want you dead, okay? Because then you just start back all over again. So you talk about reincarnation, it's like we're playing the same storyline, just like this game, or we're playing that game. It's the same type of stories where the good guy wins or finishes last and has a happy ending, okay? And in that regard, it's all the same story. So it's just like reincarnation. Nothing's different. I've been in this, and my girlfriend is the same character from thousands of years ago. We're the same love story characters playing this same role out all over again, okay? And that, if you go along with the Jewish, I think it's called the Ashkenaz records, there's that aspect as well. people will say you can go and check out the public records of your past lives. That's what the Askenash records are. I've absolutely just connected with that. When you really go into deep meditation, fasting, water fasting in particular, you can see all 1 through 0 through 12. So you actually go into a state of death. That's when your DMT is released, because DMT being released naturally is the most important thing. If you check out my most detailed Moringa water detox water fast video, you'll see how, it's on one of my channels, how important it is to do water fasting properly and things like that, if you want this effect. Okay, there's just little commonsensical things that a lot of people screw up, in other words. But like I said, you don't need to read a book, you don't even need to watch my video, you don't need to hear me out. You just go do it yourself and tinker with it. A lot of people don't have time because they're too boggled down, wanting to get money and selling out, compromising, negotiating these things, and doing it half-assed. You can't half-ass the spiritual work, it's not going to be real. Okay? And so in that regard, I would say that when you do have that DMT release, naturally, it's your body saying, oh my gosh, I'm almost dead, okay? And your whole life will flash before your eyes. But see, if you're not dead, you can kind of manipulate this process in the meditation process, and you'll be guided by your higher self from there what to do, okay? Pretty much. And in that, you will see, you could see everything, your past life, this reincarnation, what's going to happen, what you want to happen, you can alter it. I don't like to know too much, to be honest with you. To me, it bores me, and it would make this life boring. But I don't mind controlling, altering, and manipulating this reality, as that's what I have been doing. Okay? So this talk may go on levels that are way deeper than you'll ever get. If you got people with networks of reaching millions of people, channeling Jesus or other deities and things, it's just like tarot card readers. It's just another religion. It's just another way to get archons to go into astrology and look at these different frequencies which are real. Okay, there's 12 main frequencies. It's like 12 months, 12 astrological signs, blah blah blah. They're all frequencies and basically being reflected from the sun. That's the dodecahedron, the 12-pointed star. That's why there's 12 fives. Every 5 is like a level up. It's the story being finished. It's like if you finish your homework for that section, 5 is complete. You see, it's the star. That's why they give you a star when you complete your homework. Okay, it's a 5-point star. It's the part of the dodecahedron, because there's 5, a pentagon. There's 12 pentagrams or pentagon, like a pentagon shape. 12 of them. That makes the dodecahedron. That is the 12-pointed star, the black sun. That is why when you look at the sun above, you'll actually see that dodecahedron right there. Okay? And it's a hexagram right there, as it's 2D. But when you make a 3D version of that hexagram, the 6-pointed star, okay, you will see the dodecahedron, which I have one of those orgonite pyramids, and I also have an orgonite dodecahedron. And there's nothing that symbolizes all life perfectly than that, because see, that sun above is reflecting onto the side of the dome all 12 planets, including the moon and Saturn. Saturn is 6, okay? Earth is reflective as us, we're 5. That's why we have 2 limbs, 2 arms, 2 legs, and then 1 head. We're like a star, we're the pentagram, okay? Because it also symbolizes all the different elements. Plasma was let there be light. Then 3 days later he created the sun, the stars, and the moon. So how did he know 3 days from that day? See, create the sun, star, and moon. That's the way you calculate the days. So how was it 3 days later? Okay, the first thing that was made was the morning star, which Jesus claims in Revelations to be the morning star. And in Isaiah, Lucifer claims to be the morning star. It's because Lucifer and Jesus are one and the same. Satan is Saturnalia. Saturn is the frequency. Neptune's the frequency. Okay, you can have all these different words Greeks come up with. Hermes is the sun or soul. Mercury. Okay, there's different, just, it's the same oldest story ever told. The enslavement god Saturn and Luna, that's Eve and Yahweh, worked together to enslave Adam. Man, I have a video that talks about that. Okay? I can go way deep on this. I know way more on these things than I think just about anybody. I've never heard it explained, but it all makes perfect sense. I'm the last missing piece of truth. And if you made it to me, then welcome. You've awakened to being a living soul. I know the people listening to me are living souls, because I have way too many people, Archons, whatever, Decepticons, and fake people, illusions, that will just sit and try to distract or be my obstacle and challenge me by throwing stupid shit at me. For instance, religion, Jesus, God, Bible, facts, tabloid, trivial crap, astrology, channeling, all of it is man-made jargon to throw you off. I'm sorry. Numerology, Jewish geometria. The only thing that matters is the 1 through 9 number system, that you understand that the above is the below, for sure. The inner earth becomes the above through the sun. The sun is reflecting everything we see as light, and holding it down and making it real is the black sun.
Better get moving, I guess.
Better get moving, I guess. Here we go. I'm going to read the rest of this so I can continue playing my game. We can follow along with that story. You're taking the freedom and happiness away from millions of life force animals to build skyscrapers for corporate interests to fulfill banking dynasty of fake... wait, let me go back further. To artificial intelligence, soulless Archon beings. If you promote and love that life of what we say is real sin, because Greek sin means to miss the target, which is the X marks the spot, which is Aurora Borealis, which is bioplasma, which is nature, everything that's green. So if you miss that target, meaning you don't care, you are sinning. So if you love this life of decadence, building skyscrapers, destroying your own self and habitat, your environment, your ecosphere, you're merely a Decepticon promoter that promotes the evil way. Evil means to take freedom away. Check out my go Greenlight to Infinite Freedom videos. I got a 9-part series. It goes to actually I think a 12-part segment, but it's good. So it means to take freedom away. You're taking the freedom and happiness away from millions of life force animals to build big skyscrapers for corporate interests to fulfill a banking dynasty of fake dollar bills you can wipe your ass with, because that's all their dollar moon money is good for. You can't eat it. You can't eat money to survive. The food it buys with money, is poison. The real money is to living off the land, consuming rich quality bioplasma and building without killing, chopping down trees, promoting hate, murder, and bloodshed for that money or my one eye. You trade it out for money or your one eye. Okay? Money, my one eye, you trade it out. Your third eye. Because, like I said, you're distracted by those things. You want money, you want guns, you want buildings, you want cars, you want fame. These are all values that are measured by man-made entities. Secret societies, religion, propaganda, aka politica, politics, bias, divisions, you name it. That promotes hate, war, bloodshed, famine, destruction, plagues, hexes, and curses. When you destroy Mother Earth, that's the ultimate only magic that exists. Okay? Plain and simple. This is literally where the word comes from, and that is why there's one eye on top of the pyramid. You are a slave to the Royal Elite Banking Corps. You sell your soul literally to be an Archon, energy extraction vampire zombie, glued to your phone in decadent, mindless, self-indulgent lifestyle. There's no two ways about this. You promote death. You can never know life. So yes, I will always be where I am. And this is why I choose to make the best choice for me. And that would be to live in heaven. You gotta create it. It's within, yes. This is where the green is still sacred and holy. And that would be Belize. I was getting at, I never got to finish with that. Out of all my years of research, it's the most green and lush, untouched, pristine area of the world. It's amazing how Archons do not want me to say Belize. Almost like they don't want people to know about it. Costa Rica's gone to hell. They got one guy kicked out because, see, it became a tourist attraction for Archons. So we don't want that to happen to Belize, nope. And that's why I only want people who are sincere to sincerely come with me. I will know who you are based on your fruits of your actions and what you're talking about. If you invest, like I said, I've sold everything, I've given my money into the debit card system. You can bring your money, you can buy a ticket, you can get there, you can do what you gotta